You're spending way too much time playing video games. You're spending way too much time. When I was addicted to video games, I would be spending 17 hours a day on the weekends playing video games. I would be getting 7 hours of sleep. Now, on weekdays, when I would have school and stuff, I would still be spending 10 hours a day playing video games. Now, this is honestly absurd. Like, you should not be spending that much time playing video games and not doing like your homework or doing something productive like going to the gym or doing anything else. Now, obviously, I was spending this time on video games as a defensive mechanism because I would be getting bullied and I would have depression. So video games were a way to cope with that. But it's not a very good coping mechanism, since it just destroys your life even further. Now, I would also use video games as a way to satisfy my social life, as I would be amazing at the video games and I would get the respect from everyone playing the video games because I would be good at it. I was good at playing video games. So it was a way for me to satisfy my urge to progress and to satisfy my social life, and a way to build a tribe around me that worshipped me and that respected me. That's why video games are so addicting, because you have a masculine urge inside of you to progress, to make any sort of progress to yourself, so that you can be the head of the tribe and that everyone respects you so that you can get everything you want. Now, video games do this where they make a progression system in the video game where it is rewarding to progress, and it spikes your dopamine levels because you feel like, dang, I'm progressing, I'm doing something, I'm actually fulfilling this masculine urge inside of me. But you're not, you're fulfilling it in a virtual world. That's why you're also addicted, because you're important inside of the game. Inside of the game, you're a level 100 warlock that destroys levels with ease and that everyone respects and looks up to. But in real life, you're a fat loser who plays video games all day and does nothing productive with his life and stays up till 3 a.m. playing video games and getting no sleep and doing nothing productive. And that's exactly it. Video games are a time waster. It takes all of the time away from you that you could be spending doing something productive. And for what? For some dopamine spiking, some respect from people who are just as degenerative as you? What are you doing? You think you're having fun, but you're not. If you recorded yourself playing video games and looked at your reactions to you playing video games, you would see that you are stone cold for hours. Now, you may have a little reaction every now and again, but that's it. Otherwise, you are stone cold. And don't come to me and say that you're playing video games because you're doing it with your friends. Because those aren't your friends. If you're only spending time together playing video games and doing nothing outside of the virtual world and actually like coming together in the real world, then you aren't friends. I'm sorry to say it, but you're not. You are all friends with the same substance, the video game. You're friends with the video game, not each other. So you can't say that. Those aren't your friends. Those aren't good friends. You need good friends that'll help you in the real world to achieve something great. Those friends in the video games won't do that. Now, how do you stop this addiction? In simple terms, you just have to do something. Like, you have to do something other than the video game. You have to put in prioritization of yourself, of doing something productive, of going on self-improvement. Now, you have to start small because you've been accumulating this addiction for years. This is not something that's just gonna fix itself overnight. You need to dedicate yourself to destroying this addiction. Now, what I did was I started going to the gym That was a very easy way to get something productive into my life. I would be spending about 2 hours for 3 days a week working out. And that was a pretty good start for me to, do something else other than playing video games. So I would suggest you do that now. You can watch my how to get an attractive body video to see what kind of workout you should be doing in the start. I'll have a link to that in the description. You should go watch it. Now, another thing you can do is that you can start meditating. You can start meeting real life friends, like going to any sort of activity, like a fight club or like doing any sort of martial arts where you can meet people who do the same thing as you, which is like training and like forming something in the real world where you're spending time in the real world, because you need to get away from that virtual world, man. So that's the secret. You need to start small, work yourself up to spending less and less time playing video games, and then you'll soon realize that you don't even want to play video games anymore. When you actually start doing something productive and start doing a lot of things that are productive, you begin to have a mindset change where you don't even want to play video games because you see them as a time waster and something that's preventing you from progressing even further in the real world. When you're at that point, then you know that you are no longer addicted to video games. Now, a funny thing, this addiction is actually an advantage because you as a video gamer know what it feels like to level up. You know what it feels like to level up your strength stat or your knowledge stat or anything like that you've done in the virtual world. That way, you have an advantage over everyone else who hasn't played a video game because you know what you need to do and what it feels like to progress. So try to apply the strategies that you applied in the virtual world to progress and level up, and instead apply them to the real world. And you will see exponential gains because you will have an advantage over everyone else and you won't be able to be stopped because you know what it feels like to level up. So go out there and fulfill that potential because it's amazing. So go out there, destroy this addiction and use that advantage that you have to improve yourself. My name is Michael and I help young people start self-improvement and start fixing their own life. And I hope this helped you. Take care and good luck.